Hey everybody, and welcome back to Annihilation RC. This is our first episode of the second round of fights in the Fight Night format. A lot of big stakes here, a lot of big names coming up to compete against each other. It's going to be a big, hectic battle, as we're going to see here tonight. A couple of big names that we're going to see here. Whiplash is looking to start its recorded run of Annihilation RC after a 1-0 start. It's going to go up against Shredded Bro, who went 0-1 against Emulsifier. Next thing, we also have two huge horizontal spinners in Reaper versus Triton. Both 1-0, but with varying degrees of success in their fights. And we got a main event that's going to be one for the ages as we see Endgame's ferocious vertical spinner take on the terrifying Crusher of Quantum. But before that, we have a very good fight on our hands in Jackpot versus Ripper. Both bots are 1-0 and are looking to improve their spot to 2-0. So let's see how these two robots handle each other. Alright, two bots that are 1-0, and Jackpot already gets a big start on Ripper, flipping it into the screws. Ripper trying to look for a way to get out of there, and it looks like it's hung up on the wall. It looks like it might already be it for Ripper. It's having trouble getting out, and it's going to be a count out for Ripper. Impressive knockout win by Jackpot. We're going to see it go 2-0 now, and Ripper is going to be bumped down to 1-1. So next up, we got a battle between two horrifying horizontal spinners, Reaper and Triton. Now, Triton actually started in season in Annihilation RC incredibly well. Started 1-0 and knocked out Uno, a very durable Battle RC robot. Meanwhile, Reaper had a very difficult win to get. It was being controlled a lot of the fight by Red Shield, and unfortunately, Reaper managed to get a very lucky shot on Red Shield that managed to get him the win. So I think Reaper's going to be coming in with a lot to prove here. I think Triton's going to be coming as the more impressive 1-0 robot. Reaper, meanwhile, is going to be wanting to not only get 2-0, but a very impressive 2-0 here. Alright, two horizontal spinners spinning up. Triton gets the first blood on Reaper, but Reaper getting on Triton's flank, knocking Triton into the corner, knocking Reaper back. Good shots by Triton so far. Triton exposing his backside, getting hit into the screws by Reaper, and now into the pulverizer. Triton now over Reaper. Reaper getting under. Those are some heavy shots, and Triton just lost a wheel. Very unfortunate spot for Triton to be in. It now is one wheel gone, and that is a big time damage for Reaper. Just gotta be careful. Triton has the heavier weapon. It can land more devastating shots. Like that. That is a huge shot for Triton. And I think Triton just lost this wheel, and I think it's about to get counted out here. Yep. Very impressive win by Reaper there to get the knockout on Triton. Very well-earned win. Reaper now at 2-0. Meanwhile, Triton is at a very solid 1-1. I think it's going to be important to see how it does in his third fight. But next up, we have Hydra and Frostburn. Frostburn is a full-body spinner that went 0-1 facing off against Cat. Lost in a pretty quick knockout, so I think Frostburn has a lot more to prove. Same thing for Hydra. I think Hydra went up against a robot that didn't have the invertibility, didn't have a self-righting mechanism, and didn't have too powerful of a weapon. So I think Hydra's fight against Mako wasn't as indicative as it could be. And same thing could be for this fight. if Hydra manages to get under Frostburn and flip it, I think it'll be over for Frostburn, but Frostburn's weapon does pack a serious amount of punch, so we'll see what happens. Right, Hydra starting out, getting under Frostburn and flipping it. Ooh, is that already over for Frostburn? No, it isn't. Frostburn back in the fight, looking to want to not get flipped that way. Oh, is it over? I think Hydra wants it to be over. I mean, it's up to Hydra. The judges can count him out if Hydra wants, but if not, I think this will be over in a snap. I think Hydra's trying to go for an Uda here. If it wants to go 2-0, it's going to play with its food a little bit. Now a count out on Frostburn. So Hydra will move on to 2-0 while Frostburn goes 0-2. Now we're going to go on to Lucky versus Buckeye. Lucky was at a very impressive 1-0 last fight. Took control of Swamp Thing the entire match and had a very decisive win. Meanwhile, Buckeye is 0-1 after a very tough judge's decision loss to Rescue Force. Buckeye is going to want to improve its status here, and I do think Buckeye does have a decent chance. With the way Lucky's wedge is shaped, Buckeye does have a good edge to grab off of Lucky. But meanwhile, Lucky does have the speed and the momentum, so if Lucky can get under Buckeye, it's going to be very interesting to see. Alright, two robots looking to improve their status. Buckeye gets the first hit, but Lucky straight to counter. Buckeye is very prone to getting flipped, so it has to be careful to get its hits in when it can, because Lucky is always looking for a power flip. Buckeye currently upside down, now gets flipped to the screws. Nice shot by Buckeye, getting the flank. Another good hit by Buckeye. Now Lucky trying to search for a good flip to get Buckeye in. Ooh, that was a huge flip by Lucky there. Now Buckeye cornering Lucky, trying to get a huge attack in, but Lucky is the one who is on the offensive. Lucky still giving huge flips to count. Buckeye. Oh, that's not a good spot for Buckeye to be. Is Lucky going to save him? And he does. Very sportsmanlike by Lucky. As Buckeye continues to get outdriven by Lucky. Ooh! That is a huge hit by Lucky, and I think Buckeye is over. Yeah, the judges are counting Buckeye out. And this looks like it's going to be a knockout win for Lucky. What a great win by Lucky to boost itself in the rankings, going 2-0. A lot of great 2-0 robots we've seen so far. Now we're going to see how, if Terratops can join that elite club of 2-0, it's going to be taking on Yugo Yeeter, a front hinge flipper that lost to a judge's decision to Ripper. So, this is going to be a very important fight for Yugo Yeeter. As an 0-1, it's important not to get 0-2 because you only have 3 fights and you only have 3 more fights after this. And if you lose another after this, you might as well throw in the towel. There's not going to be much room for 2 and 3s in this competition. So, I think a win is necessary for a lot of these 0-1s. Terratops wanting to use that lifter to take control of Yugo Yeeter. Yugo Yeeter pushing Terratops into the kill saws. Nice lift by Terratops there. Remember, Terratops has 2 weapons, its lifter and its vertical spinner, so it definitely has the weapon advantage. Terratops with a good hit there. Yugo Yeeter getting yeeted around by Terratops. Both bots eyeing each other up. Yugo Yeeter getting under. Nice shove by Yugo Yeeter. That is the type of stuff you need to see. Because it doesn't have an active weapon, Yugo Yeeter needs to show impressive control moments. It has to use the battle box to its advantage, use the hazards to its advantage. But right now, Terratops is using its lifter to its advantage. It does seem like Terratops' drive is a little swervy right now. Yugo Yeeter is a bit more in control with its drive, so the drive advantage is Yugo Yeeter's, but obviously Terratops has a lot of ground game on him. Yugo Yeeter with another solid lift there, and another. Terratops, both bots trying to self-right, but Yugo Yeeter is the one trying to take advantage. Terratops stuck right now. Is Yugo Yeeter going to help him out? He is, and he's going to throw him into the kill saws. Doesn't want a fight like this to end abruptly because that could be bad for the selection committee who wants to see robots at their best. So a potentially smart decision by Yugo Yeeter, but Terratops is still the one dominating. You can see Yugo Yeeter's wedge is now a little chewed up now. Definitely due to that vertical spinner. And now Yugo Yeeter stuck on the wall. Terratops a little less cautious of helping him. Terratops just eyeing Yugo Yeeter right now. Can he get another lift on him? Ooh, he lifts himself in the process, but yeah. Now Yugo Yeeter at his flank side again. Doesn't manage to get anything. 20 seconds left before the judges make a decision. Can we see one more big hit? Yugo Yeeter almost lifts Terratops, but it looks like this is going to be it. Alright, so the judges have made their decision, and they're awarding a unanimous decision win to Terratops. They thought the damage Terratops gave outweighed some of the big control moments Yugo got, and so Terratops is going to move on 2-0. But honestly, not a bad second loss for Yugo Yeeter. It is going to need to be at its best in these last 3 fights, but I do think this is a solid loss for it. So now we're going to see Whiplash and Shredded Bro go against each other. Whiplash got a basement tape fight win against Jab, where it managed to get an Uda knockout on him. Meanwhile, Shredded Bro was dominated against Emulsifier and couldn't get really any hits in. So between these two, I think there's a lot to prove here. Shredded Bro is going to want to pick up with a win here, and Whiplash trying to get 2-0. Alright, both bots spinning up now. Whiplash has the ground game advantage, it seems, using its foot to get under Whiplash. Ooh! Big shot by Shredded Bro to start the fight. Whiplash in trouble right now. Shredded Bro starting to take big pieces off of Whiplash. Now Whiplash getting its control back. Shredded Bro stuck on the wall, it seems. Whiplash freeing him. Both bots throwing sparks at each other, but seems like Shredded Bro is the one with the better weapon. And its weapon is getting on more parts that Whiplash has. Not sure what just happened, but Shredded Bro is currently stuck onto the kill saws. Can Whiplash get a lift? I think he's going to try and go for an Uda here. Might be the best way to. All right, good job by Whiplash to make it all the way there and get the Uda there. Very come from behind win, though. I do think Whiplash will have to prove more in its next three fights. Shredded Bro 0-1, but it did have some good weapon moments, so I think there is some potential to be shown there. But yeah, 0-2 now, gonna need to pick it up. Alright, next up we have Ramplan versus Blip. Ramplan was very synonymous against its fight against Ocean Man, where it got picked apart. Ramplan just didn't really have any plan against Ocean Man, so it did have some good control moments, but for the most part, it just got eviscerated by Ocean Man. Meanwhile, Blip took on Loomis Plow, and Blip did a very good job winning against that fight. But I think Blip is gonna have a difficult fight here because Loomis Plow was a weaponless robot. Ramplan does have a lifter, so this is a little more of a test for Blip. Let the mob battle begin. Ramplan trying to lift. It seems like Ramplan can get under Blip. So I guess the big question is, can Ramplan capitalize with its lifter? Doesn't seem like it can. It doesn't seem like Ramplan has the height to get under. Well, it does get under Blip solidly there, but its lifter can't get any piece of Blip. Needs to find something to latch onto. Meanwhile, Blip isn't really causing much of anything right now. Oop. Almost gets a flip there. Both robots looking for that big moment. Right now, it's Ramplan getting under, but Blip gets its first flip of the match, and another semi-flip. Ramplan, a nice self right there. Now both bots fighting for the ground game. Blip's piano keys barely getting under Ramplan, but Ramplan has a, plan against Blip. Both bots kind of just feeling each other out, but there is a first big moment of the match, and it's by Blip. Now, does Ramplan have an answer? It hasn't gotten its lifter involved in this entire fight. It's mainly been trying to put its lifter downwards to, I don't know, maybe sneak it under Blip, but it hasn't worked. Blip has had the big moments, but it looks like pieces are falling off of Blip. Now Ramplan gets a big grab on Blip and flips it over. Blip hitting the kill saws. Blip trying to self-right here. Self-rights right into the pulverizer. Now this is huge control by Ramplan. Use the pulverizer, but Blip! What a great move by Blip there. Throwing Ramplan into the screws to make some distance, but now Blip is stuck onto the wall. It's been back and forth, but it looks like Ramplan is officially taking advantage. 30 seconds left on the clock, but Ramplan seems like it is the one in control now, unless Blip can get one last flip to even the scorecard. I don't think so. It looks like we're going to hit the 10-second count. We're going to go to the judges between these two. Anything from either? Nope. Alright, so the judges have made their decision, and it was a unanimous win for Ramplan. So Ramplan and Blip are now both 1-1. So very back and forth fight between the two. I do think there's going to be a lot more to prove for the two, though. So let's go see Horizon versus Complete Control. Now, Horizon started its season against Riptide, and it lost fairly quickly. So, a lot for Horizon on the line here. And Complete Control fought against Silver Star and also got a pretty quick win. So I think there's going to be a lot to prove between these two. Let's go and see what happens. Two robots looking to make a name for themselves in the second round. Horizon getting its spinner involved. Complete control on the kill saws. Horizon using its wedge to kind of guard complete control off from doing anything. Doing a decent job so far. There's a good lift and suplex by complete control. Another solid round of lift and control by complete control. Can I get another lift in? Nope, Horizon back on its feet. A huge suplex by complete control. Complete control using its back now. Getting a little back lift on Horizon. Now Horizon trying to get its hits in. Trying to hit from the bottom. Trying to take a wheel out maybe. No success yet, but it is cutting up the armor. Trying to get in there and slice complete control open. There's a solid lift by complete control. Lifts Horizon right into the pulverizer. Horizon just stuck in the corner right now. Now complete control stuck on the wall. Horizon stuck against the wall as well. Do these robots have an answer for each other? Horizon looks like it's wanted to save complete control, maybe. There it goes. Nice shots by Horizon. Very back and forth so far, but complete control. Wow! What just happened there? Alright, so a minute left, and I said Horizon has a slight advantage, but it could go either way. Horizon dealing some vicious shots. Complete control getting another lift on Horizon. Both bots trying to self right now. Horizon almost gets sent out of the arena. Complete control lifting Horizon. One shot by Horizon there. 30 seconds for these robots to show one big moment. They've both been self-righting and flipping each other all over the place. Right now, complete control. With control getting flipped by a kill saw. But it's the one being shown as the upright one for the last 10 seconds. Can Horizon self-right? It does, but complete control. Very solid end. Alright, so the judges did come to a decision. It was a very close decision, actually a split judges' decision. But they did manage to narrow it down 2-1 for complete control. They thought that the last 15 seconds were very indicative of complete control's control and aggression. They did think Horizon won the damage category, but that complete control did do a good job on control and aggression. So, complete control 2-0, but Horizon, very good 0-2 run. I think it just needs to work on its self-riding a little bit more, as a lot of robots can take advantage of that, and Horizon just needs to fix that, and I think it'll have a good last 3 fights. Alright, time for our penultimate fight of the evening, Bung versus Buzzkill. Both 0-1 robots, both had very difficult opponents. Bung lost to Terratops, and Buzzkill lost to Revolt. Two robots that are seen as very high contenders right now. So I think there's no shame losing against them, but it's going to be important to see which robot can prevail against the other. Let the bot battle begin between these two. Bung and Buzzkill. 2-0-1. Oh, whoa. What happened there, Bung? Buzzkill kind of just stuck already. Bung getting some good control here. Buzzkill, I don't know what the hell it's doing, dude. Is it over, Bung? No, it's not. Not according to Bung, it's not. Another big flip by Bung. A lot of good damage being done by Bung right now. Now Buzzkill. Is it stuck on the screws? No, it's not. Right now, it looks like it could be anyone's match, but it definitely seems like Bung is the aggressor. Bung, is it over? Well, Bung has definitely proved itself here with its fight. What a solid performance by Bung. Great job by Bung there. Got itself 1-1. Very solid win. Can't wait to see how it does next, but I think it's time for the moment we've all been waiting for. The international affair, Endgame versus Quantum, New Zealand versus the United Kingdom. Two heavyweight robots going at it. We've already seen Endgame in its very full caliber take out Witch Doctor and an Uda. Meanwhile, Quantum had a very solid controlled fight against Siren. So let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Endgame's big advantage for this fight is going to be its low ground. It has those forks, and it's going, if it gets under you, it's going to take control of the fight. So, Endgame's big plan is to just get under and take control. The big disadvantage for Endgame here is going to be the areas that are you can flank. Because of Endgame's length and forks, it also has a big problem in if a robot can flank Endgame, it will likely get flanked because Endgame's forks are just so lengthy that you could get under the sides of them very easily. Meanwhile, for Quantum's big advantage is going to be its compactness. Quantum is likely not going to win most ground exchanges with Endgame, but it does have less susceptible areas. It is easier to, get under, but it's also harder to flank Quantum. The big problem with Quantum is going to be its lack of damage. It's not going to be able to deliver the hits that Endgame has. It's going to have to rely on control. So let's see how these two do. Alright, let the main event begin. Quantum and Endgame battling it out. Endgame, first one to get under. Big hit by Endgame there. Endgame, now using its force, like we said, taking control. Doesn't necessarily need to use its weapon, just using its low ground. Quantum. Stuck on the pulverizer. Is it already over for Endgame? Is Endgame just going to let Quantum get counted out like that? No, it saves him. Well, that's a good sign. Oh! Huge shot by Endgame there. Sending him to the ceiling, but Quantum sending Endgame to the kill saws in response. Quantum. Whoa! Quantum getting under a fork, but the other fork's getting under Endgame, and whoa! Look at this. Quantum is actually doing a good job getting under the forks. Good kill saw move by Quantum. Endgame stuck onto the screws, trying to get under Quantum. The kill saw is doing some damage, but Quantum not letting up. Nice chomp by Quantum there, and another. Quantum doing a good use of the arena right now. This is some great control by Quantum. Now Endgame getting under Quantum. Let's see if Endgame can deliver another huge hit, and that hit the ceiling for sure. Back and forth action in this main event, folks. Endgame, another successful under. Now Quantum trying to get some bites in. Maybe chomp a wheel off, maybe. Doesn't get it that time. Gets a solid bite. Now it's upside down. Can Endgame take advantage? Nice shots. Quantum now at less than half health. Can Quantum do something to differentiate the fight? There goes a wheel on Endgame. Endgame's lost a wheel. Endgame has lost a wheel. Quantum's flipped itself. Endgame's stuck against the screws. Quantum's struggling to self-right. Can it self-right? 30 seconds left. Quantum needs to get up. Endgame leaving Quantum to the pulverizer. I think Endgame might be trying to just let this go to the judges. Because if Quantum gets back up, he knows he's in danger. Quantum struggling to get back. Stuck on the wall now. Endgame. Ferocious. Well, a very back and forth main event that ended in a judge's decision, but much like how Complete Control won by the last 15 seconds, Endgame won by the last 20 seconds. Quantum just not being able to self-right was a big differential, so Endgame won a unanimous decision and will move on to 2-0. Meanwhile, Quantum 1-1, but a very solid loss there. I think Quantum's going to be a robot you're going to have to watch out for. But so let me know how you felt about this fight card, about some of the judges' decisions. There were a couple big judges' decisions this fight, so let me know how you felt in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to see more Annihilation RC, and we'll see you next time.